In 1972, Nolan Bushnell and Ted Dabney changed entertainment and gaming history when they launched Atari Incorporated. Little did they know that Atari would pave the way for the video arcade and video game industry. Inspired by the tennis video game created by Magnavox Odyssey, Atari launched Pong as an arcade cabinet system. The Pong became an instant success, and Atari couldn't produce enough cabinets to meet the demand. From 1978 through 1982, Atari continued to grow by leaps and bounds. During that period, Atari launched several successful arcade games, including Asteroids. Those games propelled Atari to become the leading video game company in the world. In 1977, Atari decided to launch its first home video game console, the Atari Video Computer System, or VCS. In November of 1982, the VCS became rebranded as the Atari 2600 when Atari launched the 5200. The Atari 5200 was a higher-end complement of the Atari 2600. In either case, by 1982, the Atari 2600 became the dominant console system in the market. Some of its best-selling games were Demon Attack, Frogger, Space Invaders, Missile Command, Asteroids, and Pitfall. There were two other best-selling games for the Atari 2600, Pac-Man and the infamous E.T. Both games, however, were poorly received due to its horrific gameplay and inferior graphics. In fact, those two games alone created such a public mistrust among consumers that it resulted in the video game crash of 1983. Eventually, the home video game industry rebounded due in part to Nintendo's entertainment system. Consequently, Atari continued to sell the Atari 5200 with waning success. In 1986, Atari released the Atari 7800. Although it had superior graphics from its predecessors, Atari faced stiff competition from Sega and Nintendo. In fact, it wouldn't be long before Sega and Nintendo would dominate the video game industry with their 16-bit video game consoles. In this tutorial, I will show you how to configure the Atari home consoles for some classic and nostalgic gaming. Are you ready? Let's do it! Greetings everyone, and welcome to Batocera Nation. So glad that you could join us today. So as mentioned, today we're going to cover the Atari system. Specifically, we're going to look at the Atari 2600, the Atari 5200, and the Atari 7800 series, all right? So if you go to the wiki page for Batocera website, it turns out there's no information on the 2600, the 5200, or the 7800, okay? However, if you want to know what kind of ROM extensions they will accept or game extensions they will accept, here's how it's broken down. The Atari 2600 will accept game extensions including A26, .bin, .zip, and .7z. Okay, the 5200 will accept a number of other ones as well. All these you see right here. Okay, so it has a whole bunch of them. And the 7800 will accept .878, .bin, .zip, .7z, okay? So make sure that any of your game extensions have the following game extensions. Otherwise, they won't work, okay? So go ahead and copy all these into a portable hard drive, and then we're going to boot up Batocera, and we're going to get these systems up and running. All right, so we're in Batocera. Let's go ahead and get out of this. Press F1. And let's go to this folder. So here's where you need to copy the Atari 2600 games right here. The Atari 5200 games go right here. And the Atari 7800 go in here, okay? All right. Going to close window. Press start on your gamepad. Go into game settings. Update games list. All right. They should be there now. And there they are, the 2600, the 5200, and the 7800, all right? Let's go with the first one, 2600. So you can see that I've already got them scraped, and it turns out that the built-in scraper, screen scraper, does a pretty good job at scraping these images and videos. All right, let's go ahead and try one of the top 10 best-selling games for the Atari 2600. This game, Demon Attack. I remember playing this game a lot at my cousin's house when it came out. I absolutely loved this game back then. All right, let's go to another popular game for the Atari 2600, Berserk. If you press the hotkey and the A button, it'll bring you up to the quick menu from RetroArch, okay? So in terms of the actual settings you can change here, you go into options, and any of these settings that you change right here will apply for all the games, okay? Now, if you go in, for example, into shaders, and you try changing things here, it turns out when you hit apply or save it, it's not going to save the next time you load it up, okay? If you want to have some shaders, you're limited in terms of your options. Let's go ahead and get out of this. All right, so in terms of your options, press the select button on your gamepad, go into advanced system options. And from here, you can choose different settings, all right? So the game ratio, of course, is auto will be 4:3. You can change it to also to 16:9, okay? Video mode, just leave it the way it is. Smooth games, again, I discovered that if you leave it off, it looks better. Shader set, these are the ones you have. These here give you more of a retro look. Enhance gives you more of a modern look. So in fact, let me go ahead and show you the difference between them. Let's go to Enhance. All right, now let me go ahead and go back to Select again. And let me show you Black and Glow. And now let me go ahead and go back to Select, and let me show you one of the other ones as well. And one more time. Let's go back into Select again. Let's go into Advanced System Options. And the other settings that you can choose here are, let's go back to Enhance. I like that better. Decorations. Auto will have the normal bezels, Atari bezels. And you also have the bezel project as well. But for that, you're going to have to go ahead and download those ahead. So press Start, go into Updates and Downloads, and go into the bezel project. And from there, you can download the 2600, the 5200, and the 7800, okay? And it'll give each game an individual look to them. See that? Looks pretty cool. Look at that. Look at those bezels. Looks pretty impressive. All right, let's go on to the 5200. And let's go ahead and press select button. Let's see what the advanced system options are. And smooth games, turn it off. Shader set, I got that. Decoration, the bezel project. This, in case you have a 4K monitor. Graphics backend, leave it on auto. This is a joy hack for Robotron. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the options for the 5200. And these are the different options for you have here. Okay. Any of these you change, it will apply to the whole console. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the 7800. And on this one, I have a bunch of hacks. But first, before I show you the hacks, let me go ahead and go into system options, all right? So press select on the gamepad, and then these are pretty much the same, okay? Enhanced, decoration, everything else is the same. If you press the hotkey and A button, let me show you the options for here. These are your different options, okay? Colors. All right. So let me go ahead and show you some of the hack versions of these games. In fact, if you go to archive.org and you type Atari 7800 Ultra, you'll find these hacks. And some of these hacks are pretty impressive. I'm going to play a few of them to give you a taste of them. Alright, let me show you the original version of the game. Alright, let me go ahead and show you the hack version right here. Before we wrap everything up, if you're a fan of Atari, you might want to check out AtariAge.com. They have a wonderful community there, which I discovered today, in fact. And they even have a store. You can buy controllers, you can buy some games. They even have homebrew as well. They also got hardware you can buy. And there's also a Facebook page as well. So you might want to check them out. I will be leaving links in my video description. Alright, so that should give you an idea what the Atari system is all about. I kind of like the 7800 the best because they've got a bunch of hacks that I can really enjoy and try out. But again, you got the classics there, all in these 3 different systems, okay? If you found this video useful, please go ahead and like it. That would really help me out with the YouTube algorithm. So if this is your first time watching Batocera Nation, you might want to consider checking out our website, BatoCeraNation.com, so that will give you a great overview of what Batocera is all about and whether this is something you might want to use for your emulating needs. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Batocera Nation. Bye.